Snoop and Loop taking command of the Miami Dolphins offense, hopefully. Taking command right now. My cousin Vladimir Lewisson is in the house.
Yeah.
Vlad, let's do it. Some best case, worst case scenario. Now, let's say I'm a sunshine pumper and I love the Dolphins, and I'm going to go best case. Snoop goes in there and he is dynamic. He's gone to a Pro Bowl, albeit kind of backdoored his way in there. Oh, no, hold up. I got to explain. He backdoored his way in. There was nobody that was healthy. He only played a couple games that year. Almost won a playoff game, though, for the Baltimore Ravens. But then again, if he was that good, why is he not on practice squad? But let's say Snoop goes in there, limited playbook. We have to admit that, but goes out there, gets it to Tyreek Hill, gets it to Jalen Waddle, gets the ball over the place, makes some dynamic runs, plays great, and the Dolphins offense doesn't click on all cylinders, but clicks and is good and has people going like this. Who's our starting quarterback? That's a little bit of a best case scenario.
Right, what do you mean, who's your starting quarterback?
Yeah, you know what I mean. That's a best case scenario. Quarterback controversy.
There's no quarterback controversy.
I'm doing a best case.
No. You don't have to do the best case, worst case, mid case, or any.
I'm doing all cases.
But listen, best case scenario,
goes out there and wins.
He goes, what are you now, 0-1? He goes 2-1 the next 3.
And the games line up for you, actually. If you look at it, the Miami Dolphins, I mean, and once again, I could get, you and I are going to be on the post game tomorrow. We could be super high or super low tomorrow, but.
I'm going to be super high.
Okay. So let's say you go in there, Tyler Huntley plays well, gets some runs, gets the ball out, gets it going. You beat a Tennessee Titans team that's not very good. And like I said, don't freak out if Will Levis completes some passes tomorrow because he had 260 yards the last game they had. He's going to complete some passes. He's also going to throw it to the other team, aka the Dolphins.
So this is why tomorrow night's game is really on Mike McDaniel as a head coach, because you're facing a team that a lot of the players know what happened last time they came on a Monday night. They pretty much cost you the AFC East division title.
Yep.
Because you were up by 2 and you did not want to run the ball.
And you had trouble getting first downs.
You had trouble getting first down. So this is why this is a Mike McDaniel. I know, Tobin said this is like a legacy game, which was kind of crazy. But
okay, you got on him, right, for that?
I heard it.
Okay.
Yeah, I just heard it. I wasn't working on that, but I've had a lot of stuff that I wanted to share because we haven't
legacy game.
I'm not as a legacy.
Holy crap! Against an 0-3 Titans team led by Will Levis.
But on the flip of that,
this is a save your job game.
No, I mean you good. That's the thing. Everybody's good. Everybody got the extension.
Yeah,
but this is, are we about to lose the handle of the season type game?
Right.
Because look, they beat you last year, cost you the AFC East division title. They're not that good. Okay.
No.
So even with a guy who's had a lot of NFL experience and played well enough in a backup role that they awarded him with a, exhibition position, Pro Bowl basically. But it's not a guy. You have more confidence, I think, in Snoop than you do in Skyler, because you've seen 3 years of Skyler, and Snoop also offers you something that Skyler didn't. That's the mobility.
Yeah.
The fact that he can extend the play, or if the play's not there, he can run and get you yards.
And once again, this was a while back, but when Tyler Huntley played, he didn't look like the stage was too big for him. No, it was a couple of years ago. He looked like, okay, let's do this. Skylar Thompson, on the other hand, every time he started in a regular season game, I thought he has been underwhelming.
Well, mind you, the offense that Mike McDaniel runs is probably a little bit more complex than the offense that Baltimore was running.
Right.
He was basically, he's not Lamar.
No.
But he has the traits of Lamar so that they can use that. They were able to give him plays that he would be comfortable and familiar with. Our problem with, the Dolphins fans' problem is that Skyler's been in the system for 3 years and you've not seen an improvement. Then you add the fact that you signed Mike White last year, 2 years, $8 million. And then now he's no longer on the team. So that's why. Because let's face it, bro. We said this. I think we've agreed. We got to look at the NFL season. You got to look at any season in quarters, thirds, however. It's got to be parts, because you got to take these parts to make it whole. So it might be bad parts in the beginning, but it eventually gets better, and then that's how your season becomes a whole. right now, after tomorrow night, you've played literally a quarter of the season. They can be happy with 2-2 with struggles, knowing that it can progress. There's no going down. It can only go up. But 1-3,
Yeah.
and then you lose to that team. This is why I think it's a big game for Mike McDaniel, because you can't lose to a rookie head coach who wants to kill his quarterback and a quarterback that's does so many mistakes he's gonna get his head coach killed. Like there's only two ways this Tennessee team is going. You can't lose to a 0-3 Tennessee team at home again.
This is a tipping point in the season because, like I said, you go out there and you beat a bad team. That quarterback doesn't know who's who. He throws it to everybody, both sides of the ball. You win all of a sudden after all that we've gone through. You're 2-2.
Exactly.
With winnable games against the Patriots, the Colts, and you never know what you're going to get with the Cardinals. You could get the good Cardinals, you could get the bad Cardinals, and then you play Buffalo. Don't worry about that.
This is why. Is there anything like the NFL where right now for the last, let's say, what was the loss? Buffalo? Buffalo was 2 Thursdays ago?
Yes, the 12th.
The 12th. And right now we're at so right now, 17 days later, happy birthday, Sabine, my sister. Today's her birthday. What up, Beans?
What up, Big Aura? Big Aura's birthday is today, too.
Shout out to everyone. So you're telling me in 18 days, tomorrow night's game, right? If they come up with a victory, 18 days of doom and gloom is wiped away.
You're 2-2.
You're 2-2. Now you're looking at everything so positive.
You're looking at a Patriots team that maybe Drake May will play, maybe he won't. Doesn't matter. They have no offensive line.
But you've beaten them. So now, boom, you beat them now right now you're 3-2.
Then you go and play the Colts in Indianapolis. Well, you get a week off. So
then you get a bye.
So now you're feeling really good.
3-2 on a 2-game winning streak.
You get a bye, and then you go into Indianapolis, who, not the biggest believer in Anthony Richardson yet. They're beatable.
So think about it. So then in 6 weeks, because your bye is week 6?
Mm-hmm.
So in the third of the season, you're 3-2. So you went from doom and gloom
with no quarterback
to now, okay, we got something going, and maybe your quarterback may return.
What if you're 4-2 and all of a sudden Tua is back? You get the Arizona Cardinals at home. And once again, you don't know if the good Kyler Murray or the bad Kyler Murray is showing up, but that's another winnable game.
Well,
if you're a Dolphins fan, you're happy.
But you want to make sure that here's the thing though. Snoop's playing well. And that's where you want to go. And I know that's where the quarterback controversy was.
I really want
to rub your face?
I've always liked Tyler Huntley.
Come on,
Hollandale Beach High.
I just realize how New Orleans you are just right now, man. You just did the Birdman.
I want this.
You did the Birdman hand rub.
I know.
Why you want that? Why you want controversy?
Because that means the more good quarterbacks you have on the team, better off you are. But once again,
I always thought that if you had too many good quarterbacks, you don't have a quarterback.
Let's temper down expectations. Tyler Huntley's not going to, well, maybe he will, but I don't expect him to come in and score 45 points tomorrow and just be as dynamic as possible. He doesn't hardly know the playbook, but he's got two things that he can do. Throw the ball deep to Tyreek Hill and throw the ball deep to Jalen Waddle. And then we'll see about Devon Achane running the ball and everything like that. But man, everything sets up. Now let's tip the scales. We said this is a tipping game. What if Will Levis just has Mike McDaniel's number? Tomorrow night we lose. Now we're 1-3, barely 1-3, by the way. And then you go into the New England Patriots, and Tyler Huntley hadn't looked good. Skylar Thompson, he's hurt or not hurt, physically, emotionally, however you want to look at it. Tim Boyle, he ain't going to get you there nowhere. Now you have question marks going into the Patriots, the Colts. Tua coming back now, like the season's starting to get away from you a little bit. There's some really positives, but at the same time, very negatives. That's why I agree with you, Vlad. This is a tipping point game. This is a season-making or breaking game, possibly. Possibly. I'm not saying it's all over.
It's still early, Kuzan. It's still early, Dan, because, I mean, after tomorrow night's game, you still got 13 more games. But
if you can't beat the likes of the Titans, the Patriots, and the Colts, you have problems.
That's what you just got to beat the Titans. I didn't even expect you to beat the Seahawks if Tua was playing.
Right. I didn't expect it either.
That nobody knows how difficult it is to go play in Northwest Seattle. That's the farthest trip. For
biggest home crowd advantage.
Biggest home crowd advantage. The longest trip for any NFL team to take, because you're talking about the bottom of the bottom in Miami, all the way cross country to the northernest part. So I didn't expect them to win. So you're upset because, let's be real, bro. We said this. We've been saying this for a minute. This offense hasn't done diddly.
Yeah, it's the worst offense in the league, by the way.
Since the second half of last season, since that Jets game.
Yeah. Let's just talk about this season. 20-17 victory over the Jaguars, 31-10 against the Bills, 24-3 against the Seahawks.
And let's keep it a buck, my friend. That Jaguars game could have been a loss if Holland doesn't hit that
14-point swing.
That is literally a 14-point swing.
Because they would have scored a touchdown.
Which would have been
24-7. Would have scored a touchdown. But then the next play, we come back to an 80-yard bomb to Tyreek Hill, which has been the only dynamic play we've had all season.
And that was because, I mean, if you would think this season's been wild so far for the Dolphins.
It's been wildly under-impressive.
No, but just wild. Like, remember that 80-yard touchdown was from a guy who was just like 3 hours previous was on the ground.
Yeah, and the sack from Calais Campbell, who also was arrested under false pretenses, and we're now finding out.
Think about that. And in the following game, boom, Tua gets a concussion in a game that he wasn't playing too well.
No, he was not.
So that's what you know what it is with this team. It's like, damn, it's bad, and then something worse happens to make it like you forget about the bad play. You just thinking about, well, that game one, Tyreek got arrested right before the game.
Ooh.
Game two,
Tua gets concussed.
Right.
Game three, Skylar gets his ribs broken.
Oh my God, bro.
And it was
and how I'm sorry. What have I always said? Death, taxes, and
yeah, I know.
Say it.
I gave you credit earlier. I say every year I get duped into thinking Teron Armstead's going to play all the games, maybe miss a game. And you always tell me, stop it. He's going to not play in 5 or 6 games.
Minimum 4 games. He's definitely
missing. Every year you're right. And every year I'm wrong. And he has a shoulder problem. And they said, his brace is off. Isn't there going to be?
Dude, I remember you saying that. And I didn't really, because I was watching, I was at the stadium. So I didn't get to see. I just saw him. He was on the sideline, they were doing something. So it was during the post game when you were like, why was Teron Armstead missing plays? Because they were fixing his arm, like what they say?
Fixing his brace. They said the brace was dislodged.
And I'm like,
dude, they weren't fixing no brace.
Like, then when you said it, I was like, damn, if you need a brace to play like that doesn't mean you're like anywhere near healthy.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened? Concussion. He got hit in the eye and became a concussion.
Yeah.
What is this, Roddy Piper? That's the only time I've ever hit somebody get hit in the eye. And
yeah, I thought he just, get hit in the eye. You're a little blurry. They take you out. Nope.
Put some Visine.
Yeah. Nope. Concussion protocol. Kendall Fuller, too, by the way. Concussion protocol. It's a good thing.
Are they game time decisions?
No, not even a game time decision.
Oh, they're
out.
But Mostert.
Good thing. Yeah, I don't know yet. He's questionable.
Now, by the way, if he's questionable, he doesn't play, and then he doesn't play next week,
why
didn't he just go on the IR? Because he missed 3 games so far.
I don't know. It's a good thing Tyler Huntley can run.
He'll miss 3 games if he misses tomorrow. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Tomorrow. I mean, I hate to be over emphatic, but it kind of seems like this is a season make or break type of game. Once again, there's a lot more games, but man, we win. And the positivity, like I said, Patriots, Colts, Cardinals, Tua coming back. I'm not going to talk about the Bills on November 3rd. I've given up hope on beating the Bills. And by the way, for those that say Josh Allen isn't a good quarterback, that's just hate. That's just hate.
Josh Allen's a good quarterback, but also Jacksonville Jaguars stink.
Jacksonville Jaguars, terrible, and you barely beat them. We barely beat them. But look, you beat the Titans. You beat the Patriots, who have no offense at all, like us. You beat the Colts, who Anthony Richardson, he throws 1 or 2 good passes a game. They make the highlight films, and you watch the rest of the games. He's absolute garbage.
That's what's Tua's injury so frustrating. I mean, the concussion so frustrating. Because if you look at the state of quarterbacking in the NFL right now, it stinks.
Yeah, everybody's horrible, except for Patrick Mahomes.
If you got the good quarterbacks, you're good. If you got above average quarterbacks, you're good. But it stinks.
Who's been the best quarterback this year? Aaron Rodgers so far? It's early in the season.
No, best quarterback's been Josh Allen.
Josh Allen.
I would put Aaron.
Oh, good. Everybody in our division is playing really good. Not really good, better.
Jacoby Brissett's up. but even the good quarterbacks, they're losing.
They're not
Joe
doing great.
Burrow's playing good, and people still coming at the Bengals.
Don't worry about the Bengals. They always start terrible, and everybody, what's wrong with them? And then it's about the finish, not the start.
So the fact that you're going against teams with terrible quarterback, and then that's the other thing. This is why this game tomorrow is not only on Mike McDaniel, it's also on Chris Greer. And I saw somebody say "Fire Chris Greer" hashtag.
A lot of people are saying that.
And listen, man, you can't be.
So it's an unstable situation. Let's not make it more unstable. And the season isn't done. I'm not punting. I'm not punting this year. Not yet.
You can't say this. You can't say this. Early in the year that you and Mike McDaniel were laughing at the fact that the media's
everybody's offensive line sucks though.
Yeah, the media's and the fans wanting more depth in the offensive line, and then you laughing and then coming back to come get you now. That's not cool. You know what I mean? That's not,
I'm not ready to punt on the season by any means. Like I said, you beat the Titans, you're 2-2, you got winnable games. Now, if we lose to the Titans, the Patriots, and the Colts,
you lose to the Titans. Oh,
if you lose the next 3 games, Vlad,
you can't lose at home tomorrow.
Is it time to start getting that leg warmed up to punt?
Fam, you lost the first 3 of your first 4 games at home.
If you lose,
2 of your last 3 games at home.
If you lose to the Titans, the Patriots, and the Colts, that's not Murderer's Row. That is not Murderer's Row.
No, it's not Murderer's Row. That's if you had Tua, you'd be stacking wins.
Yeah, you need to stack W's. Hey, look, tomorrow night, you and I, Vlad.
You got to win tomorrow night first.
Tomorrow night, Vlad, are we gonna have a happy post-game show, or are we gonna have
Don't ask me. I'm not betting on that game. I'm not touching that.
I don't know what's gonna happen.
I wouldn't touch that game with your hands.
There you go. Thank you. My hands have been some places. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know. Tyler Huntley, we haven't seen him play in forever.
That's a complex offense to understand.
Take it away. Run the ball. Throw deep passes to Tyreek Hill.
I think if you have Devon A-Chain on your fantasy team, he's going to be getting a lot of dump offs.
Also, Tyler Huntley's going to be running a little bit. Maybe for his life. Maybe because of designed run.
Well, here's the thing. Tennessee's got a good defense. Okay? Yeah. L'Jarius Sneed has a way of limiting Tyreek Hill. We saw what he did last year in the wildcard game, where he just pretty, and in Europe, where he just pretty much like bumped and run that man. He just threw him on the ground.
Yeah,
within the 5 yards. So, and you they have a good defensive line.
They've been in every game, despite Will Levis throwing it to who knows, the crowd, the refs, his teammates, other
that's
team.
The thing. This is why this is a big game. Now, this is why a big game for Mike McDaniel. I said, right? Chris Greer, because he's got to show the depth. And it's a big game on, Anthony Weaver. Your defense is going against a second-year quarterback who has a propensity of turning the ball over. Therefore, this defense, what I said, this defense may bend, but it won't break. And they look like they'll get turnovers. This is not Trevor Lawrence. And you got the turnovers against Trevor, and you got the rush, the pass rush on Trevor in the second half when you needed to. You could do this against him. He's mobile, though. He's mobile, but he's mobile and dumb. So defense, get some turnovers, give your offense short fields so that Snoop doesn't have to do too much.
Don't ask Snoop to do too much, just enough to win the game. That's what it's all about.